Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me for Quick Word Tuesday on this morning. I want to give everyone just an opportunity just to join in. So if you can take just a moment, share the video, tag the video, and let somebody know that I am on. I greatly appreciate it. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Sister Anita. How are you? We're driving. We're riding on today. Well, I'm riding as my husband is driving. See, and we're just out, just having a day on this morning. But I still wanted to drop in to do what I know that God has called for me to do. So I had an opportunity on this past Sunday to talk just briefly because a time was had in church on Sunday. And so I didn't get an opportunity to really break down the word that was given to me to give the congregation because God had other things in store. Deacon Elect said, "Good morning." And so I wanted to share with you um, where I was coming from was in Luke 17:32, where Jesus was talking and he was saying, remember Lot's wife. Um, that's all he said was remember Lot's wife. And remembering about Lot's wife was that the fact that she looked back and she looked back and stayed in a place of looking back, that she was never able to go forward. And I know that a lot of us have had setbacks in life. We have had things to go on in our lives that we just didn't think that would ever happen. We thought that we would have been further along by now. We thought that we would have accomplished more things by now in our lives, or just something has happened. We could have lost our job. We could have went through divorce. We could have been in certain situation with sicknesses and illness, and it has left us in a position of feeling like that we're in a setback season. But I want somebody to know that just because you're in a setback season, it does not mean that you have to look back and go back to where you were. That God can use the very thing that you thought that you lost in order to use you to launch you forward into the things that he is calling you forth to do, and that he's calling you forth to be. I realize that things have happened in my life. Listen, all of us, life be life and things be going on in your life, but you have an opportunity to gather up the pieces and continue to move on. We can keep talking about it over and over again, what has happened to us, because all of us have a story. All of us have came through something, been through something, something has happened to us, and it has given us a testimony to be able to go forward. I think about things in my own personal life. I could allow that stuff to make me quit. I could allow that stuff to make me bury my head in the sand. I could allow that stuff to say, nah, I ain't gonna do it because nobody support me, nobody have my back. Look, it was just a setback. It was just a setback. I like to use when I sometimes get in a very down place, and I go back to the time that when I was early in my career, when the salon, and I lost every single thing, everything in my salon was gone. That Saturday, everything was gone, and people was calling. People were saying, "Am I still going to have my appointment next week?" There were some people that was really concerned, and there were some people that didn't care. They was laughing. But listen, I could allow that setback and say, bump it. I'm gonna go do something else. Hey, I can't come back from this. But guess what? I went home and I prayed. I had a little talk with the Lord. And let me tell you something. My setback was a setup for my comeback. And I want somebody to know that the setback that you're in right now, it's a setup for a major comeback for you. That God does not allow things to happen just because. Sometimes things happen to set us up for something greater. Sometimes things happen because God is trying to shift our mindset. Sometimes things happen, God allow things to happen because God said that your time there is over. And now I need for to send you to someplace else because I need for you to plow up the ground in another territory. Stop sitting back looking and thinking that everything that happened to you, it happened because everything was the devil. Some things didn't happen because it was the devil. Some things happened to you because it was God. Because God saying, I want more for you. You settled here long enough. I'm tired of you being in this place, so let me shut the door. God is saying that I need to push you to someplace else. And we're sitting around, we are moping, we're having pity parties. Instead, begin to praise God and watch how God turns some stuff around for you. God said, remember Lot's wife. I think about all the women in the Bible. I think about all the women in the Bible. Mary carried Jesus. Mary carried Jesus. I think about Deborah, that she arose in a time when it was slavery, all kind of things that was going on, and Deborah arose. And by Deborah arising, it caused so many other people to rise to the occasion and realize who God has called them forth to be. I think about Esther. Esther was an orphan. Listen, and God used her to not only be able to save herself, but to also save her people. I think about the woman with the issue of blood. She stayed in a place for 12 long years, and listen, that she didn't start thinking just about all the money that she lost and all the people that she probably that was friends with and they walked away. She began to say, no, if I can only just touch just the hem of his garment. I think about the woman that was bent over for 18 years. I just think about all the different women in the Bible. I think about Eve. I think about everybody. I think about Phoebe and all the rest of them that made major marks in the world, that made major marks in the Bible. And God didn't say, remember them. He said, remember Lot's wife, a woman that didn't even have a name. Her name wasn't even mentioned in the word. Her name was just mentioned as being just Lot's wife. But God said, remember her. Why? Because God is saying that I got too much ahead of you for you to be focusing on what's behind you. What's behind you is what's behind you. But I'm telling you now, what is coming is greater than what's been. So y'all need to write that in the comments. What is coming is greater than what has been. And I need for us to know, get out of the rearview mirror. Stop looking at what's behind you and focus on the things ahead. Remember Lot's wife. Lot's wife turned around and she stayed focused on her past for so long. Listen, she was never able to walk in the things that God has spoken over her life. Don't stay in a place of looking back. Hey, sometimes things has happened for a reason, because God is trying to stir up the ground. He's trying to stir up you and make sure that you get to your destined place. I am Pastor Deidre Samuel McLeod. I came to stop to tell you on this day to let you know, don't go back. Don't go back. Everything that you need is up ahead. And I'm telling you, if you survive your past, that's good. Pat yourself on the back and keep moving forward. There are some people that's depending on you. I'm depending on you. I'm depending on you to share your testimony. Look, I'm not going back. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what they think. I don't care how they feel. I know what God has in store for me, and it's not in my past. It's in my future. Have an awesome and wonderful day. And remember, to God be all of the glory.